feedback. Never good. Hold on. Let me try that again. Aroo! Good morning. Good morning. Who's eating sriracha sauce this early in the morning? Oh, cayenne and yeah, sriracha. What is going on here at 9 o'clock in the morning? Sriracha, habaneros, and cayenne. You drinking tequila, Valerie, this early in the morning? Because that's good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, listen. So thank you guys so much for your kindness, man. I totally flaked on Wednesday and Friday, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. Last week was a week. I was sick as a I was sick as a dog. And but you've had a shark visit you? What? A special like a shark? How did the shark visit you? Ooh, crazy. Ooh, you Valerie, you are a whole hot enchilada. I know it because I'm a hot enchilada. You know what I'm saying? I am. All right, good morning. All right, so many thanks to Teapot. Thank you, Janetta, for all of your wonderful everything that you are, but mostly for taking care, well, not mostly, actually mostly for being my friend. And then secondary, for all that you do for this channel and for the boards and for everything else. So thank you all very much for the kind wishes. I really was, Amy will attest, it was not pretty. But here is the story. I'm back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here talking about cayenne pepper and all that stuff. Okay, so I am going to jump right into the readings super duper super quickly because Homegirl has to leave at 10. But before I do, I've got some questions for you all. And thank you all very much. And thank you so much for, thank you so much to Amy J. Pittman. She was my rescuer last week. Yes, she was. So, I have a question for you guys. Another reason I've been very quiet over the last couple of weeks is, hey homegirl, what's up, Kelly B? I got another big message from the Animal Allies. Let me just put it right out there. And the last time I got a message like this, it was to create the ARC deck. And then the book and everything else that's come from it. So I'm like, I'm looking at the animals going, do I have it in me? Well, you must think I have it in me. But here's the story. I've had a whole bunch of y'all asking me to do a membership. And I really am working on the classes. No joke. Because I've had a bunch of y'all ask me about the classes. So, hold on one second. Thank you for waiting. And so I am putting the business class together. Because most people seem to want that most first. And Panagiata, how are you this morning? I just love that. I say that name every now and again when I'm not making fun of your name. It just rolls off the tongue if you can do like an Italian accent, Panagiata. And it just makes me feel like I'm in New York and I'm having a slice of pie and a beer. You know, oh, beer. That's one of the things I miss the most. Autoimmune. I can't drink it. It swells me up like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloon. It's unbelievable. So, all that said, can you guys just, how do we find, so Mary, what you can do is if you will email me at howl@wildpackwisdom.com, howl@wildpackwisdom.com. And yes, it's all about the classes. Everyone seems to think that. It makes me happy, Panagiata. It really does. It kind of also reminds me, there's a panettone. There's a dessert I like quite a bit when it's made right. When you buy that stuff in the box at Publix, it's disgusting. But panettone is delish. Anyway, so could you guys, okay, so if you're interested in classes, email howl@wildpackwisdom.com. Tell me what kind of classes you're interested in. I'll put you on that list. That said, I sent out, for those of you that supported the Kickstarter, thank you so much. I'm still in shipping hell. Shipping rates went up last week, 650% if you didn't see it. And more ships are lost and more merchandise is lost. It's a nightmare. I'm not putting my books on those ships. Nope, I will not. And I'm already, let me not talk about the shipping costs because it'll make me bitter and then I'll start to snarl and you guys will see my wolf impression will be ugly. But so I'm going to wait until after the first of the year and see what the shipping prices are like. And they're just going to, whatever it is at that point, it's going to have to be whatever it is. But my guy at my factory in China says the shipping prices will go down a bit, at least some, after the holiday rush. So there you have it. And thank you very much to those who have offered to kick in. You are so generous and I appreciate it. Thank you, but I'll work it out. Okay, so all of that being said, I'm really interested to know what you all want. Oh, and by the way, I think what I'm also going to do is send out a PDF. Like, I'm going to refund the people that bought an ebook, because I'm just going to send the ebook and the PDF out to everybody, so that everybody has the book, but before the book comes, that way you're not left with anything. Because let me tell you guys something. I thought the Ark was my opus. I don't know, y'all. This book is knocking me out. It is. It's not. There's nothing else like it, nor will there ever else be. Ever. I'm telling you, no one else is gonna. It's gonna do something stupid like I did. But here we go. I know, Tracy Ann, and that's very kind of you, but I just can't do it. They really do have to calm down on the shipping, Lisa, but it's don't get me started on the whole thing. So, okay, so that being said, a bunch of y'all asked me about a membership. As you feel like it, if you would, put in the chat, what would you like to see in a membership? Because I'm pivoting. I'm just pivoting everything. I'm going to go back to doing the daily readings because people are on me about that. Oh my gosh, people are on me about that. So I'm going to go back to the daily readings, and I really like them too. I'm just saying ahead of time, though, a lot of them are going to, like, probably 95% are going to be pre-recorded. And I am going to move into memberships, into classes really heavily, because that's what people seem to want to know. So for those of you that are new to the channel, thank you so much. I see you in the chat. I am trying to keep up with the chat. It's moving very quickly, which is awesome, blossom. But homegirl can't, I can't keep up with it that fast. For those of you that are new, thank you very much. You're welcome to ask all the questions you want. However, let me tell you how it goes on the channel today. Today I will be drawing cards for the zodiac signs. So these are zodiac signs tarot readings, and they will be categorized, because I got to leave at 10. They will be categorized by the element associated with that zodiac sign. So I'll give you the messages, and then I'll take a couple of questions from people who actually are that zodiac sign or whatever, and then we will move along our merry way. Oh, mentoring. So little C, big C. I love that answer. I'm assuming you're talking about the membership, because see, this is the thing. I want to be everywhere for everybody, every minute of every day. It truly is. It truly is what I want to do. There's just not enough hours in the day. So I've got to I got to figure out how to do this where I can be there for folks, like really be there. You know what I mean? I love mentoring. It's truly one of my favorite things to do. Okay. All right. So, okay. Kuss Boo. Hey, Boo. I'm going to call you Boo for however long you stick around my channel. You're a Virgo. Awesome. I'll get to you and all the other Virgos as I get to them. So hang out, and yes, you will get your free reading. All right. I miss you guys too. Yeah, it was, and I hate letting you all down. Totally hate letting you guys down. And I'm just sorry, but I was sick. Anyway, all right. If you're interested in classes, and you are interested in a membership, just put that in an email. Send it to me, howl@wildpackwisdom.com. Hops is going buck wild because Jeremy the handyman is here. Have you guys ever seen Murphy Brown, the painter that shows up one time and then he's still there 8 years later painting every... That's Jeremy the handyman. He showed up to do one job. Honest to God, the guy's been here for a year, but you should see my house. And wait till I show you guys my yard. The yard should be... I've been talking about it for months and months and months. But it was a big, fat, hot mess. But wait till I start... Because I'm going to start broadcasting from my yard also. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm about sick of this backdrop in this room. I'm sick of it. I want to be out where the wild is, which is where I always want to be. So... and yes, Mary Murph, I learned that this past week, that I have to take care of myself. It was a hard lesson. I really thought I was. I wasn't. Oh, and let me tell you guys something. Hey, Dawn. A Gemini day. Dawn, wait 15 minutes and it won't sound fun to you anymore because you're a Gemini, and right now you think it'll sound fun, but 10 minutes from now you won't think it sounds fun. I'm poking you, Dawn. Good morning. I hope you had a good weekend. Okay. So here's the story. I have been hawking those muscle milk drinks. Let me tell you what I discovered. I don't know how I didn't see this on the label. Y'all, they've got sucralose in them. It's the same thing as Splenda. That's like shoving poison into your body. At least it is for mine. And it was part of the reason I crashed last week. Man, I've been drinking those dang things like they are water. And all of a sudden, I looked at the label because my rheumatologist said, you're not drinking any artificial sweeteners, are you? You can't drink that stuff. And I was like, I don't think so. No, I drink tea. So I went back and looked. It's one of the last ingredients. I don't know. I've been drinking those things for a long time, like years, in fact. Anyway, no more for me in the muscle milk. Anyway, all right, I'm moving on. Thank you for putting the ideas. Amy Pittman, calling Amy Pittman. Will you please start writing down some of these ideas that people are putting in for the membership so I know what the heck they want? Because, yeah, that'll be... I know. Artificial sweeteners, they are horrible to me. I don't resonate well with them all. The first time I ever drank a Diet Coke, I about ended up in the hospital. No joke. No, really, no joke. Artificial sweeteners are not my friend. They're not anybody's friend, really, but what do you know, people got to live the way they want to live. So, as long as they live well with animals, it's none of my business. All right, here we go. For somebody who was it that said they had the shark encounter earlier in the week? I will tell you that I'm being haunted by bison. Every way. I was like, what is that in my window? It's Jeremy the handyman climbing on my roof to get rid of the rot that's up there. Unbelievable. I'm telling you guys, my house is going to be Taj Mahal by the time Jeremy's done. Okay, so has anybody else had any kind of weird animal things go on lately? Because the stories that are happening are, you're not the only one to say this animal showed up in a weird way. And I will tell you what, I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about religion. We don't talk about that on my channel. But I will say this. I know that you all know that there's a big storm a-coming all over the world, but mostly in America. I know you know this. I absolutely know you know this. And you may have all your reasons why, but the bottom line is a storm is coming. And I'm telling you, animals will tell you about a storm or any kind of major event that's going to happen way before it happens. So doesn't it make sense that the spirit animals will show up and try to knock on our door and tell us? Now, let me just say this. I would bet $1 to a donut that a bunch of y'all have had a bunch of angel encounters, or you've been sitting around wondering, was that an angel encounter? I will tell you why. So, yes, absolutely, it makes total sense. There was an African elephant in your tree outside. So, like, did you see the shape of the elephant in the trees, Melinda? Is that what it was? Ooh, that's really interesting. But here's the thing. Oh, Lordy, y'all. I didn't know he was going to be drilling up there this morning. Okay, hold on. Sorry, y'all. Jeremy the handyman is not pleased. He huffed at me and went, okay, so y'all send Jeremy some good energy, please. Okay. So here's the story with the angels. He does wait for me to go live. I really believe it's a plot, honestly. So, sorry for the interruption, y'all. Okay, so anyway, you guys might know Frank Palmer. He gave me permission to use his name on the live today because I could not sleep Saturday night for love or money, not one wink. And it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on Facebook. So all of a sudden, I get a ping from Frank, and I'm like, "What are you doing up at this ungodly hour?" He said, "What are you doing up at this ungodly hour?" I was like, "Insomnia." So we had a little chit chat, like very, very short. And then he, out of the blue, he asked me, do I resonate with angels? And I said, why, yes, I do. Very, very much. And he told me about these daily readings that he's posting in, ooh, I can't remember what group it is. I'll look and I'll tell y'all next time. But he does these daily angel readings. That's his shtick, is angels, right? So I said, I resonate with them very much. And by the way, the angel Jophiel is my angel. Period. End of story. There's a whole crazy story that goes along with that, right? Oh, Tracy Ann, no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, is it okay if I send lots and lots of love your way? Ooh, that had to be hard. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But angel encounters, yes, they have been off the charts. So here's the story. No, not Invisible Frank from class. This is Frank Palmer from the boards and on Facebook. So all that said, so he said, well, I'm going to flip a card. He said, I'm about to do my daily angel reading. I'm going to go ahead and flip a card. And so he flipped a card and he wrote me and he was like, you're not going to believe this. And I'm like, yeah, I believe anything you told me. I trust you. Guess what card came flipping out of his deck? The angel Jophiel. Now, what's crazy is I had given myself through Sunday night, to make some major decisions about some things, about the directions that I wanted to go in, you know, with the teaching and the membership and all that. I kind of knew what I wanted to do. But this message that was my angel Jophiel, who is the angel that read up on her. Most people don't even know that she exists, but she is actually, she stands with Metatron at the tree of knowledge, at the tree of life, and guards the tree of life with Metatron, right? The other thing that she does is she leads the people into the light and is the one who knows the way. She's the one angel who knows the way to heaven, to ultimate knowledge, to ultimate wisdom. Now, please don't think that I'm saying that I am that person. I'm not. What I'm saying is, don't you think it's kind of kooky that at 4 o'clock in the morning, when I'm never on Facebook, that we connect and and the card just flips and whatever? Nuts. Absolutely nuts. So many thanks to many thanks to Frank Palmer for being the messenger of light at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that was just it, man. I was like, okay, well, we're on the way. We're on the way. So there you go. It is, I'm telling you, between the angels and the animals right now, y'all, especially y'all that are paying attention, because all of you guys here have the eyes to see and the ears to listen. Please, please, please pay attention, because they're trying to tell you lots and lots and lots that's going to prepare you for the next year to come, or two. Let me just say next year or two to come. And that's all I really want to say about that. I've got to believe you know what I mean. Okay. All right. I'm moving on. Yes, I'm moving on. We're moving on to readings. Okay. Raziel. Angel Raziel. I don't think I've ever... Raziel? Do you mean Raphael, Carl? Maybe not. I don't... See, I love angels. I'm not studied in them. I'm not so studied, but I have to tell you, I do love them and I do believe in them. I personally have had two. I wish I could say that I can prove it. I can't really, but I kind of can. But I've had two angel instances that were just like, that's it. But anybody that ever says Raziel. Okay, Raziel. I gotta look that one up, Carl. I've never heard that one. I just had a deep spiritual message yesterday. It was very intense. Yeah, Jason. Okay, so the topic today is readings, Jason, for the zodiac signs. And we're going to start with air signs first. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And I'm going to flip a card for you all. This will be your card for the week. Actually, you have two cards for the week. This is interesting. Wow. Okay, so both these cards came out of my deck sideways. And we're going to talk Gemini and two cards. Look at this. Two owls, two wings. Okay, really with the Gemini, the twins, and two. Come on now. Okay, so we're going to talk about this in just a second. But I know, Emily, the downloads, they're crazy, and I have to consider that's part of what made me so. Man, I was, y'all. I should have had my hiney in bed for a few days last week, and I'm too hard-headed, I didn't. But I have to consider that some of that is downloads. You know, it's kind of hard for me to know sometimes. So, or Uriel is your angel. Yeah. So I just want to say this again. And hey, EGB91 and is it Lex Mix Games? Hey, y'all on Twitch. Thank you for joining me. What you guys can't see on Twitch, because I'm still trying to figure out how to feed the regular feed onto my Twitch feed, is that on the other feed, I've got a bunch of people from Facebook and YouTube that are in the stream. And so I can see your chat in my major chat. And so, Dawn, yay, Gemini reading. Dawn, I believe you won a couple of things last week, and I haven't got an email from you about doing your reading, Mr. Man of Mystery. So let's get with the program, sport. So, all that being said, I would tell you all, if you're experiencing dreams that are like, I don't know about that, or if you are experiencing being more tired than normal, you might be getting downloads. It's entirely possible. And again, I want to come back with this. If you're having animal encounters more than usual, or from unusual animals, or animals that are unusual for you, please pay attention. Please pay attention. Please. If you're having angel encounters and thinking that you are, you're imagining it or you're losing your mind, you might be losing your mind, but not for that reason. I'm telling you, you did not imagine it. I'm telling you, they're all coming out for the people that have the eyes to see and the ears to listen. I'm going to say it again. The people that have the eyes to see and the ears to listen, they are trying to tell you something. And again, I'm going to say the next year or two in this country, that would be the United States, is going to be interesting. Maybe a little tense, but interesting. What happens when animals know? What happens if you're at the beach and all of a sudden the birds are flying inland? What do? You don't stand there and wonder why. Pack your picnic basket, grab your children, grab your husbands and your who's with you, your wives or friends or whatever, and you get the HE double hockey sticks out of Dodge. You know why? Because something's coming. If you are in the mountains, and so, don't make me go through all this, you guys. I'm telling you, animals know when something is happening, and they move, they shift, they leave, they get away from it. Your spirit animals are trying to tell you, make the shifts, make the changes, make that change. All right, here we go. Woolly bear caterpillars. That is so fascinating. Aaron Fucci. Woolly bear caterpillars that turn into tiger moths. So you go from bear to tiger. That's really something to take a look at, because what that tells Aaron Fucci, please tell me you see this for you. Listen, bears, they hibernate. When they come out, they're a tiger. Aaron, have you been hibernating? Do you need to come out and be a tiger? Just saying, Aaron Fucci. Just saying. Okay, Gemini, here we go. All right, so when you have these... What am I doing? Okay. So when you have owls, what you know... And this card is from the Friends, Family, and Lover portion add-on of the Arcanimal Spirit... Arcanimal Spirit... My tarot deck, y'all. Okay. Owls are always harbingers of being able to see into the darkness, to have the courage to look into the darkness, to find wisdom everywhere, and also to fly silently. It is chaos here this morning. One day, this is going to be filled with vodka and not water. Okay, so all of that said, why you see them here kissing like this is, yes, run inland. Why you see them kissing like this, it is, well, first of all, it was an adorable picture. and I needed awesome things for friends, family, and lovers. That's number one. But number two, because the owls are actually the only owls. So there's an owl that is the moon in the main tarot deck, and then these owls. And then there are baby snakes in the I think it's in the moms and babies packs. And then of course, This gorgeous blue pit viper is the Tower card. Those are the only two animals that repeat in all 149 cards of the Arc deck, right? In all 149 animals, they're the only ones that repeat. But when I looked at this, yes, it's an adorable picture. But what Al said to me was, it's about passing your wisdom, your life breath, your essence, your everything. And a shaman do that a lot. They work a lot with their breath, and they work a lot with well, certain shaman do that. And so really this is going to be about you passing your wisdom onto somebody else in a very loving way. And they will receive it. I will give you a case in point. I have a friend who pinged me about where she lives. These people that live next to her were not, they just simply would not get the bear proof trash cans. And so, you know, their trash was littered everywhere, and the cans were, you know, picked through. And that was, the litter was not the point. The point was, is that the bears get used to coming in, and then they get shot. I mean, don't get me started on people that won't even go the step to just get the bear-proof garbage and raccoon-proof and critter-proof garbage cans, because it trains the animals to come in. It trains them to do all kinds of things that are terribly dangerous for them and will ultimately end up in them being killed for no good reason whatsoever, except for humans are stupid. Okay, not all humans, but a lot of them. So I was told by the bears of her area to go to them and say, listen, I've called code enforcement, I've called the police, I've called this, I've called your parents, it's not getting us anywhere. So I'm just going to close your garbage cans. And I said, just start closing their garbage cans. And they'll ask you why. And tell them that, and then tell them, but I have to do this because my grandson that's here knows what happens to animals when they are trained to come in and they get to eat the trash and they eventually get killed. And he bawled his eyes out. And I can't not be an example for him of, I'm going to do more than my share, because there's never more than your share, really, when you're talking about the safety of animals, when you're talking about being kind to animals. And so if it's no problem for you, I'm just going to go ahead and keep locking your garbage cans. She pinged me 2 days later. Listen to this, y'all. From that message, because Mama Bear is a triple Scorpio, right? The Mars in me was mighty when I heard her talking about her neighbors. I was like, do I need to fly there? Because I can have a conversation with them. But then I was sent that message of that because I was told that one of the people in the house actually grew up. Realize I'm telling you, I was told this, bears of the area, their spirit told me this, that one of the people in the house grew up an abused child and has a very, very soft spot for children. Now, I don't know that to be true yet, but here's what I do know came of all of that. Now, 3/4 of the neighborhood, the city came out and they replaced 3/4 of the neighborhood's trash cans with animal-proof trash cans. So, if you're not thinking that animals are trying to tell you something, they are. And here's what it is, Gemini, in this card. You've got to voice the love, the wisdom, but it's got to be in love, right? Now, whatever is happening in your life right now is not the time to be caustic or be crappy or be, even if you're right, right? Even if you're right, whatever you've got to say, you're being told to be clever like an owl, to be silent like an owl, silent with the words that would be what Mama Bear would have normally run into that situation going, look, we can have a problem here, or you can just get the trash cans you're supposed to get. Okay, what would you like to do? Or you can psych out on it, and Spirit will tell you a more loving way to go about it. Now, again, I don't have it confirmed that one of those people in that house had that kind of childhood, but I'd bet money on it, and I bet I will find out eventually. Oh yes, because animals will never steer you wrong. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Connect the dots, connect the dots. Always with me and my animals, it is about connecting the dots. And once you do, ladybugs are one of the biggest harbingers of good fortune and good tidings. So whatever this is that you start to connect the dots about by working with these two animals And these two wings, right? The double aspect, the double sides of Gemini, it's going to go so well for you. But here's the cool thing. It's going to go so well for the other people involved. Meaning, every day I think to myself, why, how, I, I don't understand how people are cruel to animals. I don't understand how they're cruel to each other. I don't get it. I never have understood that. And many much wiser and much more schooled than I, much more practiced than I, have said they're not awake yet. They don't get it. I I have you all ever been around people with severe Down syndrome, or on a big spectrum for Asperger's or autism, or just any kind of quote unquote delay, and again quote unquote delay. I have only ever once witnessed anybody like that being cruel to an animal, and this was a very specific case where this soul who decided to come in and experience that in this lifetime, they would harm themselves. I mean, that was their mission in this world. I don't know. But other than this, so if people that are experiencing those kinds of quote unquote challenges or delays have it in them to be kind to animals, tell me who doesn't know it. I just don't believe that. So there's your story, Gemini. And there is something going on with you that is, I don't know. There is something going on about you and what you have to say, how you say it. Don't not say it. Just say it. Ask to be shown how to say it in love. And the good fortune is going to come your way, but it's also going to come the way of those other people. Because here's what I wish for everybody. That every jerk in the world come to a place where they're not hurting anymore. Because if they will, they'll be happy, and they'll be, I don't know, they'll be happy, and then they won't be a jerk anymore. So I want people to thrive just as much as I want to thrive, because only not thriving and not being happy, any kind of fear that you have, any kind of anger, it is it's no bueno. It never manifests buenoli. That's what I'll say. Okay, I need a very specific question from a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. I'm going to trust you that you're a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And you, one question. Hurt people, hurt people. That's a Gemini sun. I had a dream about a polar bear last week. What message? Okay, so if you're on my channel, here's what you have to know about Bernadette. I do not see Stephine. There you go. There you go. I don't censor the messages that come from the animal allies or angels or guides or the tarot archetypes or wherever these messages are coming from. But here's the story. Lily, Polar Bear was coming to tell you enough is enough. It's time for you to step into the starlight. Now, I don't know what that means. I do know that Polar Bear in my deck is the star card, but that's not always what Polar Bear means when it comes to people. But when I tap into the Polar Bear that came to you, all I can see is my card. And, well, it's everybody's card. It's not just my card. Anybody who loves animals, the arc belongs to everybody, right? Okay, so all of that said, what that means is there's something that you want to do that would put you in a bit of the spotlight, and you're very committed to all of the reasons that you think are holding you back. They're not. They're not. It's you thinking they are, but they're really not. I don't exactly know what that means, but I Christina Della Torre, I don't know what you mean by that. Hold on. I'll be right back to you, Lily. Christina, email me about that, please. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I'd like to check it out. Hal@wildpackwisdom.com. Okay. All of that said, I don't know what this is, but you're supposed to be stepping out into the spotlight, whatever that means. And Polar Bear is trying to guide you there, meaning you're supposed to be the star of your own life, but by moving forward to be more in the spotlight, I don't know if that makes any kind of sense to you, but that's what's being told to me. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. Any other Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius? Let me look. Let me look. I bet it was. Polar bears are no joke. I bet it was memorable, Lily. Little C, big C. How do you gracefully exit your relationship? I'm assuming you are an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. Little C, big C. Let me pull a card for you, but I can tell you. But let me pull a card. How do you gracefully exit your relationship? Well, totally. Guacamole. Little C, big C. Have you ever seen a movie where there's a bully, there's a bad person, and the person or the other people that this person has been bullying or being mean to or just being an outright thug to, everybody else is afraid to step up, and then one person steps up, and it's usually the person that you would least imagine would step up, and they don't have to make a big pomp and circumstance out of it. They just have this energy and this tone to their voice and this look in their eye that tells the bully, we're done here. And it scares the bejeebers out of that bully or the bad, just let's just say the bad person, right? And they back down. It's because there's a strength in that even somebody like that is not going to buck up against. That's wolf for you. So the way to do it gracefully is not to be a scaredy cat, not to try to sneak away, not to try to placate this person, not to try to make it okay for them. It's to stand and look them in the eye, exit, and let them know if they cause any problems, that's not going to go well for them. Wolf also tells me you need to do this swiftly. Not you need, but it would be probably better for you if it went swiftly. Because knights, this is the Knight of Pentacles, and knights move very quickly. Whatever their mission is, they're very clear on it. They move. That's it. It's Dunzola. So I hope that's helpful. I really, really hope that's helpful. Okay, Wolf and Knight of Pentacles. Also, something tells me you don't think you can be the wolf. Wrong, Ola. Yes, you can, because you're every animal, and every animal is you. That's just how we're born. That's just it. Okay. All right. Here we go. Tell it like it is, girl. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, I am moving on to... Oh, Lordy, I got to move. Okay, so that was air signs. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Bam! King of Wands, Tiger. Y'all, there's a tiger in y'all's tank. That is it. A tiger in your tank this week, which is interesting because you're air signs. You know, here's the thing. No, you didn't miss Aries. I haven't done Aries yet. Getting there. Okay, so here's the thing. When I tap into Tiger and ask what it means for you all specifically, you earth signs, I haven't gotten this before. This is really interesting. So see how the tiger is crouched here, and he's waiting. He's waiting for when the time is right. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you guys don't crouch so much as you don't move until you turn into a hurricane, and then you move. You just go bleh all at one time. That's not going to be helpful to you now at all. You are being asked to whatever you have a question about, whatever is on your mind, whatever is on your heart. You're being asked to be wary and watchful. Wary and watchful, meaning you can't shut it out, or see it and keep seeing it and taking it, or seeing it and dealing with it. Even if you see it, you're not, that's it. You're not making plans because you're not being wary and watchful. I don't know what this is, but it is no joke. Wary and watchful. Now, that doesn't mean that bad things are coming. This could mean that great things are coming. It just means that you've got to see it and address it, at least within your own self, and be making your plans. Be looking at the landscape of everything and be making your plans. Because when it's go time, you cannot create chaos. You cannot wreak havoc like a bull would, like a Virgo does, like a Capricorn does. You've got to get in and get out like a cat would. You've got to move like a cat. No joke. I don't even know what this is all about. And again, it's not bad. It could be really awesome. I have a couple friends right now that are waiting to see if they're going to get these crazy amazing jobs. And when the offer comes, they got to jump on it. Like get up on it, right? That's it. There's also, I'm really drawn to the orange and the stripes. This is kind of weird, but it's like, it's almost like you've got to keep your plans not hidden, but just to yourself until the time to strike is right. And again, this is not negative. It can be a negative thing or a challenging thing that you're dealing with, but it could equally be just as like fabulous. But you've got to be ready to strike. And I just keep seeing the darkness of the stripes, the darkness of the stripes. And what I see in that is keep it quiet, keep it quiet. And then when the orange, I don't know how you guys see this orange on your monitors, but right now it looks to me in my psychic eye like the orange of the tiger is actually on fire. And in a good way, like the tiger is made of fire. So when it comes, whatever it is, you got to blaze right through it, but quickly and efficiently like a tiger would. I really hope that's helpful. Crazy, but I hope that's helpful. Okay. I need an earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I need a specific question. I do not answer yes or no questions. But I will absolutely, positively, and there we have it. Whoever's about to ask a question, the next two of you, here it is. Sneaky and ruthless. Well, I don't know about sneaky and ruthless. I would say more, hey, 021 Waka Wakanabe. Welcome to my channel. You're about to get banned because you're a scammer. God, get a life. What's wrong with you? Okay. All right, so here we go. Taurus here. Virgo. Okay, I'm going to take Emily and Jason's question. Emily first, because she's ahead in the chat. Virgo, what in the heck should I do about my career? Should I continue with where I'm at or go for this open interview on Wednesday and totally change fields? Okay. I feel really uncomfortable with totally changing fields. I'm uncomfortable with the way that's appearing in my psychic mind. But carp is about ancient ties, and it's about the most ancient knowledge, emotions. It's really a very powerful animal. And I'm torn because I'm also being told that the tiger is appropriate for you, Emily, in this place, meaning you should go to that interview on Wednesday. And you should go and give it all you've got. Like, approach it like a tiger. Like, do all your research, do all your planning, do all your seeing, and go approach it like a tiger, because even if it's not that job, even if you don't change careers, there's going to be something about the process and the people you meet and the experience that is going to go amazingly for you, but only if you go with your whole heart. And the other thing is to look into the history of this company, this job, the key players. Be like super 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 schooled by the time you get there. I don't know, man, I just want to giggle. I think it's I just think it's amazing. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's gonna go amazingly. Again, totally changing fields. I'm being told you can get a job you like better in a different part of your field, a more elevated part of your field, but not totally changing fields. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Okay, Jason, Taurus here. A deep spiritual event happened yesterday for me, and I wanted to ask the Animal Tarot, what do you need to continue forward? Seven of Wands, Scorpion. Or excuse me, Nine of Wands, Scorpion. Now, what that means is a deeply spiritual event. What do you need? When you take a look at the Nine of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot meanings, it I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's about resolve, it's about bravery, and it's about resilience. And when I step into the energy of what you're saying is that spiritual event, I would tell you that it is going to be bravery that you need to move forward, because it's going to change your entire paradigm if you'll allow it. If you will allow things to unfold as they are meant to unfold, and as your own spirit is wanting to unfold. But Jason, I feel like you have a tough time um, exiting relationships, whether they're platonic or romantic, or even, like with family that just, they're not the deal. You have a tough time letting go. That's it. You have a tough time letting go. And this spiritual thing that you experienced, oh my God, it's going to lead you to paradise. It really is going to lead you to the greatest joy and happiness. But you are going to have to let go. And that's going to be scary. But the sense of peace that I feel from that event is a little, it's emotional for me. So I feel like you probably had a deeply emotional experience also, because just because something's a deeply spiritual experience doesn't mean that it's an emotional experience. Some people can observe it, can experience it, but it's I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't mean. But I think for you, it definitely was. But there are some big changes that you're gonna feel like you want to make, and you're gonna have a tough time making them. But you should make them. They're gonna lead you again to happiness, because I feel like you've had a lot of drama going on, and you're at this point in your life, you just want peace. You just want peace, and you can't stand to be around people that are. That's it. You can't stand to be around people that are bickering. I hear a lot of people around you bicker. It's driving you crazy, because it's driving me crazy, and I'm not the one standing there in the middle of it. You got to get away from that. Away. I hope that's helpful. Okay, Moving on to Fiwa. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius tarot reading for this week. Hey, Catherine Windsor. Wow, that's so cool. A lot of new names on here this morning. That's so awesome. It would be very cool if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you liked, that's awesome. That does not guarantee you a reading, though. So let me just say, I go in the specific order that I see them so that it's fair to everybody. And that's how we roll right up a her. So this is for Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Meerkat. I love it. Now, what's interesting to me is meerkats are not in the most hospitable of terrain in their natural habitat. It is Barney. Barney, quit climbing the chair. Barney, it's always you. Yep, it's you. Sorry, y'all. One of my new adoptees. He loves to claw things. Okay, so what? See, there he went. Barney. He's going off to claw something else. Okay. So yeah, Don, I would say that's a visitation from your dad this morning. Because I have to tell you, carp rarely comes out. Okay, so let me get back to this for you fire signs. I'm being drawn to the meerkats in the card, yes, but I'm mostly drawn to the terrain that they're in, which is pretty inhospitable. It's dry, it's sandy, it's miserable, it's full of lots of danger. You know, meerkats don't get to live in the rainforest. They don't get to live by the beach in Boca Raton, right? Or somewhere in the mountains or someplace beautiful. They live in hot, sandy places. But Earth's fire signs, something about your environment is sandy and inhospitable at the moment. It's tough to live in. And I will tell you that the way to work that out is to know your tribe and be on the lookout for each other, and know that you're in the place that you should be at the moment, even if it's kind of icky. But through, and I just keep hearing working with. So this would translate, I'm staring off into space, y'all, because that's how I hear the animals talk to me, which, by the way, every time I pull a meerkat, I have to battle with myself not to giggle, because they are the cutest little things. So cute. And they have this little chitter that they do, at least in my head, that kind of reminds me of Chip and Dale. Who's your friend? Me! You know, yeah, forward, you know, Chip and Dale, their voices. It reminds me of that. But I keep hearing over and over from them, you've got to work with your tribe. You've got to work with your family. You guys have to, that's it. You have to have a system. There's something about you've got to have a system within your tribe, and there's no system. Meaning, you know, meerkats do it naturally. I don't think they just sit around talking about it. About how to, you know, like when these go out, these are like watching out for danger, and then they use these they're amazing communicators. They've got all these sounds that they make for lots of different kinds of predators and all of that kind of thing. And so I would say that it's interesting, because what I'm hearing for you fire signs is that you can communicate telepathically, and you do naturally know what the others are needing and how to watch their back, but people don't have your back. It's not the same for you, not because they don't want to, they just don't know what you need. They don't know. I don't know how that makes sense, but it does in my it does in my psychic mind, if that makes sense. But the other thing that I'm hearing from you fire signs, from Meerkat for you all, is that hey, Melissa De Jesus, already did Cappy. It was the one right before this. I want to say that you're not playing enough, but that's not even the crux of it. You're not, like, that doesn't even begin to cover it. What begins to cover it is it's never in your mind to play. You're so busy taking care of business that you just don't laugh to laugh just because. You don't have playtime just because, and that your fire is going to burn out. So you got to keep, that's it. You've got to keep the fire burning. That's what it is. You've got to keep the fire burning. But you're going to flame out because the fire is going to get too hot. It's like even stuff that you used to, it's almost like the stuff that you used to laugh at, you don't laugh at anymore. Not that you've judged it to be juvenile or not funny anymore or whatever, but there's something inside of you that doesn't see the humor in some of the things that you used to see humor in. And that makes sense. You know, your taste will change, but it's not helping. And it's also not helping that people are not having your back. You've got to tell them. You got to tell them. You got to tell them. And that's it. There you go. Okay. I'm taking a question. It is a very specific question. I do not answer yes or no questions. From any fire signs, I'm going to trust that you're a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That you are a fire sign. Fire. Fire signs? Yes, they do, Jason. Of course we need to go back to that about caring for people like we did in tribal times. We're still tribes. I don't know why people don't think we're tribes. And I'm not saying you don't think that. What I'm saying is, well, give it a different name, color it a different way, whatever. We're tribes, people. That's it. What do you think your family is? A clan. What do you think your extended family is? A tribe, a clan. It really is just that simple. If people would just be simple like animals are, everything would be so simple. Okay, Deborah True. I'm an Aries sun, born in the year horse. Okay. You saw bears yesterday. You saw bears in yesterday. You saw bears in everything. Ooh. Deborah, welcome to the channel, by the way. I don't recognize your name from before. If you've been here before and I just didn't see it, I apologize. I just can't keep up with everybody, although I try. It's a very I'm going to draw a card for you. I'm going to draw an animal card. Well, Komodo dragon. Very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting based on your question, but also based on everything else that you know that you are, which is fantastic. Born in the year of the fire horse. Wolf's been with you since 96, Jaguar since 79. Dang. You must be some kind of force to be reckoned with. Interestingly enough, when I see Komodo dragons, it's like when I see a dragonfly. I'm always reminded of dragon energy. Always. You're a fire sign. You've got a lot of fire. You're born in the year of the fire horse, so on and so forth. Bears are not about fire. They're about earth. And there's something that tells me, even as a fire sign with all the fire in your chart, then you're talking about wolves and jaguars being with you. Okay, that's a lot of fiery energy, a lot of forward momentum, a lot of go get them, tiger, that kind of thing. Bears are not like that. Bears will come for you, But they're just as likely to stop and eat a pot of honey, right? But bears are not ones that you want to come for you. They are as ruthless and relentless as a tiger, as a lion, of a shark, of any animal, any critter on this earth. The mosquitoes in Florida and Alaska and Maine, they can be that ruthless and relentless, but for some reason, I will give you, for instance, this is the only way I can describe this. The only way. My mom and I had a habit, and I still have it. Now, not so much lately. I've been a shut-in since the COVID thing, right? So, but when I had a life and I used to go places, I have just this weird, uncanny thing that will say, hey, stop here and get something to drink, or stop here and do this. And by gosh, not all the time, but a lot of time, something was fixing to go down. A lot at this 7-Eleven that's right up the street from me. It's not a 7-Eleven, it's a Quick King or something. I don't know. Anyway, one day I walked in there just a couple months ago. I was getting gas, and it was full. It was really busy. But the hair on the back of my neck started to stand up, and I thought, here we go. So I just very quietly stood at the entrance, and I just didn't move, and no one ever noticed me. And I watched these two old boys, two young fellas, come up to the counter and start looking around. I knew what they were looking around for. And so I went, I cleared my throat. One of them turned around and looked at me, and I went, and I looked over my glasses like a mama bear would, and he looked back at me, and I went, and he knew exactly what I was telling him. He tugged his friend's shirt, and they left. Now, they was fixing to bring the ruckus. All I had to do was clear my throat and look at them and be the bear. Not be the bear, but be myself. Which is, you know how people talk about throwing shade? Ooh, they just threw shade. You don't have to do that by speaking. You can throw your energy just as you would a frisbee, a baseball, a football, a punch, you could swing a baseball, a basketball. You can throw your energy. And I did, in a very quiet way. There was no kerfuffle. I don't know that anybody saw it but me and the guy that was standing there. But I was like, nope, not going to happen. So there's something about this energy, this bear energy for you, Deborah, where you are being asked to be the strong, silent type. And whatever this is that you are trying to do positive, or if you've got a challenging situation or whatever, you literally just have to stand there. I'm seeing a bunch of, like, in the Italian movies, or the movies that, like, mob movies, and well, really any movie that's got those big old bodyguards and those guys are just standing there and they're like 9.5 feet tall and all they have to do is stand there and look at people and they're like, okay. It's like that. You're being called, because I keep seeing the bear raised up on its legs, raised up on its two hind legs. You're just being called to stand there and be strong. However, there's something about your ancestry that's very important to you now. And I hope that you're looking into your ancestry, or you're thinking about looking into your ancestry, because I keep hearing that you have a kind of famous person in your ancestral line, a person who was of notoriety, whatever that means, and you're going to want to know about them. It's going to be helpful to them. Okay, all right, so moving on. I hope that was helpful. Yes, I'm doing the water signs with Cheetah Creek. I am. I hope that was really helpful. Let me catch up on the channel and see. Oh, Lordy, I can't possibly read through all of these, but I remember your last name, True, because I was like, that's a really cool way to spell True. So, Miss True, I hope that was helpful. Plop it in here if that makes sense to you. I'd love to know. All right, water signs. Now, remember, you guys, I'm always really careful. I'm really careful reading for water signs, but apparently not drinking water. So, I'm trying to rush drinking my water so I can get to them. But I always have to be very careful that I'm not reading for myself because I'm a triple water sign, right? So, please excuse the dribble next to me. What a putz. Okay. I know, spilling water for water signs. Okay. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is your tarot reading for the week. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. This is your tarot reading for the week. Okay, I know for sure I'm in y'all's energy and not in mine, because what I was told for myself this week is completely different than what I'm being told for y'all. Cardinal inverted. I know the water just wants to flow, doesn't it though? There you go. And that's why I kept y'all, can I just say this? Okay, I promise you this is not me bragging. What I try to do on my channel, and just so you guys know, is I was told I've got to pivot my whole channel. I mean, I love doing readings and I love communing with you all. But really, my job in life is to teach. My job in life is to bring as many people to their metaphysical apex as possible. And that's why everything that's coming on this channel forthwith is all about teaching. Now, I'll be doing the readings also, and in the membership, I'll be, but my job is to teach you all that anybody, anywhere, at any time can access your psychic self, because it's who you are all day, every day. So I was like, oh, I keep seeing a bear standing on its hind legs. A bear standing. Deborah True wrote, I downloaded a picture of a bear and put it on my phone yesterday. He's standing on his back legs looking forward. That's why they call it psychic. Okay, so all of that being said, I love you, Jason. You're awesome. Preach it, teach it. Y'all, I'm from the South. The only churches I've ever felt really comfortable in are churches that cater to the African American community, because it's all about the worship and the song and the communing and they're real. So if I do ever go, which I almost never do, I bust up in my friends' churches and we have a good old time. Which is how I learned to make the best mac and cheese in the whole world. Anyway. Okay, water signs. Okay, I don't know what to tell you guys except for what's coming to me. Right, Jason? I know. Now, Dawn, stop with the wisdom already. You're too wise. You're too wise. I'm not limited. I just can't announce it yet. It hasn't happened yet, but it's fixing to happen. The past teaching, I know what you're talking about, Dawn. Believe me, I know. Thank you, by the way, for that. All right, so here's the story. I don't know who of you out there are water signs that are listening today, but cardinals are always a harbinger of someone visiting you from the other side. There are so many reasons that that's thought to be true, that whether it started out to be true or not, at this point, so many people think that it is a truth. And so the animal community is going to be like, all right, if that's all it takes for you to think that Grandma, Lurleen showed up, or Uncle whatever showed up, or Mom, or okay, we'll come see y'all. Now, there's a lot more to Cardinal than that, which is about not being afraid to show your own brilliant color. The other part of that is this. In the Cardinal community, the males are the bright color and the females are the quote-unquote drab color that blend with the background. So in some way, the males protect the females, and this is not, don't write me and tell me I'm perpetuating gender stereotypes. I'm not. I'm just telling you what goes on in the animal kingdom. But you can be any gender or identify with any gender or not and still be protective of other people, whether they are female or not. And that includes yourself, by the way. I was not protective of myself last week or the week before. I've finally come to the realization that I can, not that I can't, I hate those words, but I'm going to make better choices for myself of how to take care of myself and still be able to do everything I want. That said, there's something about this that's twofold for you water signs. It's telling me that you're not being as protective of yourself or someone else or other people as you should be. The other thing that it's telling me, and I'm just going to say this straight out, Straight. You absolutely should do it again, Dawn. That's part of your charm. Of course you should. Okay. If you're not practicing mediumship, get with the program. You cannot possibly be on my channel if you're a water sign and not either be a professional psychic medium, tarot reader, rune reader, pendulum swinger, psychic animal communicator. You cannot possibly be a water sign and be on my channel and not be one of those things already or want to be one of those things. Period. Now, I don't know all of you all. I don't know which of you are water signs and which are not. But I'm telling you, that's what Cardinal is telling me. Is if you get your mediumship going. Turn this card around. Caw-caw, caw-caw, which is not what cardinals sound like. I'm really bad at a cardinal sound. It's about making more cardinals and the females need to blend with the nesting. Right, exactly. But it's also about protecting them, because if a predator is going to come for one of them, it's going to come for the male first because it sees it. Okay, so here you go. I don't know what this is going on. I don't know. But I want to be more psychic than I feel I am. I'm very interested in how to do that. Yeah, my classes or anybody else's classes that are good classes. A lot of these psychic classes, this is going to sound terrible, but let me say this. Let me not sound terrible. I am an evidential psychic medium. For instance, the gal that with the bear, I don't know her, never saw her. True is her last name. I'm like, I keep seeing a bear standing on its hind legs. What's the picture that she downloaded onto her phone? A bear standing on its hind legs. And you guys that have followed me for a while, you know about the evidence. Now, here's what I'm not doing. I'm not tooting my own horn. What I'm saying is, I'm just some lady that lives in Florida that talks to animals. There's nothing special about me. Everyone can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. It's just that simple. It's how we're hardwired. Some of it's nature, some of it's nurture, but here's the story. What I'm going to say is, for those of you that are water signs, you are really being called to get your mediumship. You're talking to people and animals on the other side. It could be spirit guides. It could be angels. It could be spirit. It could be anything. Anything. And that's it. I don't know what you're going to do with it. I don't know why you need, just do it. That's all I can tell you. Okay, so it's really just that simple. Oh, actually, it's not just that simple. Okay, Dana, I'm going to come back to your question. You're a Pisces sun. What animal medicine you need to work with for your next step forward in your spiritual practices? Okay, I'm going to answer you, Dana, in just a second. For those of you that are mucking about and afraid to take your to come out as a medium or to start practicing as a medium because you're afraid of what other people will say, quit it. The Cardinal tells you it's time to shine as brightly as you can possibly shine. So quit it. So, here's how I tell people. They're like, I don't know what my family's going to say. I don't know what my friends are going to say. Here's how I say. Here's how I tell them. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you knew for a fact that you could save one person from committing suicide and help turn their life around by giving them a reading, just a reading that is a good reading, an evidential reading, and now let's even throw in mediumship. Now you're going to talk to their dead husband who crossed over, which is what threw them into a suicidal state, was that trauma. And you knew that you could save them because you could offer them so much evidence that he's still alive. He's just not where they can see him-ish. I mean, they can see him, but not see him. Would you care what your friends and family had to say? Well, no. Of course I wouldn't. Okay, I have that happen weekly. Weekly, someone tells me. Weekly, you saved me from this. I didn't. I, for whatever kooky reason, showed up in this life with the sacred contract to do this job. There are a lot of things that orchestrated people being in a place where they can hear the messages and see the messages, to have the eyes that see and the ears that can listen, that perpetuate healing. So if you're a water sign, I mean, this is a message for everybody, but specifically right now for water signs. If you're out there going, I don't know what people are going to say, you either want to save lives or you don't. It's just that simple. Okay, Dana, back to you. Oyster. That's what you need. You need pearls, girl. Go buy a straight of pearls. No. What you have to know, Dana, is that for you to take your next step forward with your spiritual practices, you've got to realize that the world truly is your oyster. And that anything that irritates you can be turned into a pearl. Because, Dana, aren't you already a professional metaphysician? Somehow in my head, Dana, throw in the chat, aren't you already a professional metaphysician? Aren't you a reader of some kind? I don't know. Girl! Oh my God! That's... Okay, this is why I work with animals. Because I'm not nearly as smart as they are. Dana, honey, tell me you see this for what it is. You want to open a mediumship business, but you feel lacking in the confidence. The world is your oyster. Stop lacking confidence. Now, I know it's not as easy as me going, poof. I'll even use my little wand that I keep by me all the time. Poof. Stop lacking confidence. I don't even know why I keep this. It's kind of cute, but it's, I don't know. I think it needs to be with somebody else. It's tired of me. I don't use it enough, or I don't work with it enough. But interestingly enough, Dana, I pulled this stone to sit in front of me today. It's the oh my God. Earlier, who was it that asked about the polar bear? Bam, 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 bam. Okay, here's the thing. When you all are saying, little C, big C, I see you. I see what you just wrote. When people say they're struggling with confidence, it never turns out to be what they think it is. It always turns out to be, always, can I make enough money to support myself? Now, I've had many a conversation with other practitioners who are like, that's not true. You know, some people are just afraid they're going to hurt somebody or they're not going to be this. Nope. You're always afraid you won't be able to make enough money to support yourself. Because let's face it, we're animals. Our very survival is all we really care about at our core. Are we going to survive this? That's it. The rest is superfluous. And the only thing that makes us go to bat for anybody else is, are they going to survive it? Let me try to save them. Let me try to help them. The rest is superfluous. Superfluous, right? Okay. That said, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. For those of you who don't know, I grew up in poverty. I say it all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it. My sister grew up in poverty. We grew up in poverty. Poverty. We have broken the cycle of poverty in our family. Now, one of the reasons I want to offer this business class, because man, I have rebelled against it for a couple, 2-3 years now, is I don't think it's enough to support your family. I don't think it's enough to support yourself. That is very limited thinking. I used to think like that. I did. And that's all I could do was support myself. I just made enough to make the bills. Nothing else. But you don't have to just support yourself. You can be as successful as you want to be, as you choose to be. And I promise you, I swear to you, it is a choice. And it's as simple as, I think I'm going to go on down to the grocery store and pick up an apple pie. Or you know what? I think I'm going to condition my hair today. Or you know what? I think I'm going to see a movie today. And you carry on about your merry business because those things seem easy. They seem like, well, that's just part of life. Part of life is for you to have anything you ever wanted, as long as it's positive. Okay? Don't write me and say, when you say that, you're saying that, you know, people that do bad things, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that. I'm not. I'm saying that, is it enough just to survive? And what does thriving mean to you? What does it mean? For me, thriving means I'm going to write the biggest, fattest checks that I can to animal charities that war against cruelty to animals. I'm envisioning those checks. I'm choosing to have checks in that amount that I can write. That's thriving to me. That makes me happier than I can tell you. For other people, it would be having a Lamborghini. For other people, it would be having a 10 room home or an Olympic-sized pool or whatever. Whatever it is, you don't have to do it. You don't have to be it. You just don't. It's a choice like any other. It truly is. Y'all, I grew up in a trailer in the middle of the woods. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I mean, and didn't have a very good education. I mean, it was the best they could sum it up in Dunnellon, Florida. But come on, y'all. What teachers take positions in Dunnellon, Florida back in the 70s? So, now I had some very fine teachers. But highly educated? Not so much. Highly educated. Highly experienced? I don't know. So that's all I'm going to tell you guys is not true, Kelly B. You are not navigating the best you can so far. We can always do better. I'm not discounting everything you've done. I'm proud of you. And I know your animal allies are proud of you. But we can always find a way to do a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And that's all you got to do. Somebody, I watched a video yesterday where somebody said, when I take things inch by inch, life is a cinch. Inch by inch, life is a cinch. I thought that was one of the wisest things I'd ever heard. I am so late to this meeting. Y'all, I got to go. I am way late to this meeting. So, I hope all of that was helpful. Yes, I do. I love you all. Beverly Gomez Adams. Girl. You know what I'm talking about. Beverly and I went to school together. Beverly will tell you. Some of those teachers we had, it's a wonder they got through college. Remember, I won't mention him by name, but remember the science teacher that would fall asleep in class every dang day? Okay, so remember, Dana, the world is your oyster. I promise you all, I am putting the classes together. They will launch after the first of the year. And if you'll just let me know what you want a membership, I'm hoping to launch the membership, like a soft membership, by December. I really am hopeful. Those of you that are being nice to me about how long it's taking for the book to get here, I love you and thank you so much. For those of you that are being mean to me, there's nothing I can do about it. You can keep being mean to me all day long. There's still nothing I can do. I'm just going to laugh at you because there's literally nothing I can do about it. So I will see you on Wednesday. Yes, I will. If you are interested in classes or membership, please write me at howl@wildpackwisdom.com, howl@wildpackwisdom.com. Let us know. And I will see you all on Wednesday. All right, you guys, what are you supposed to do? Do good for animals, including yourself, and stay